Yeah, yeah, yeah. So many lies that you hear from the net, they don't get her respect. She reporting the truth, not a check. You want an unbiased opinion straight from the chest, not a bit of accomplice or someone here for a check. Tune in, these are thoughts from a lawyer on a mission who goes so hard it's like she works on commission. Trolls in the comments might say she tripping cause they lack the knowledge, they don't know they missing. Got a couple current events that you like, wanna know about law from the eyes. Tired of all these blogs running lies because their agendas are disguised. Tune in to the intellect, cause I'm sure y'all missing all the facts of the case that she steady is gifting. Someone here for the people, man, it's so uplifting. If you ain't subscribed yet, then you just omitting facts.
Hello, everyone. It is Pam Esquire, also known as Your Law Intellect. As you come in, if you would be so kind as to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. I see you all coming in. Thank you so much for supporting. Good to see you, the woman he chose, Andrea, Lady Redbird, Chocolate Thunder 67, Mixtress Monica. Good to see you. Christopher Jones, good to see you. Lexi the Law Nerd, good morning. Good morning to everybody. Travel Girl, I see you. Shirley Rice, good to see you. Petty Patty, LK72-7, thank you all so much for coming in. So, you guys are probably like, what is this thumbnail? I know. What happened was, if you guys are an avid follower over here, we were watching a video. So this would be on the Brian McKnight update video of Julie McKnight. And it was a video that was happening in Michigan where there was a person that goes by the name of Nickyy Pop, who there was a whole standoff in Warren. And we watched the video as it was unfolding. She alleged that she had unalived someone in the house. There were a panning of the body. It was all type of things that happened. And we watching this in real time. We didn't have much of a backstory, and we didn't have much of, we didn't know the real name. We didn't know a whole lot of things regarding what was going on. But I said I would try to get the information and we would definitely follow this. So since that time, I've gone through this Nickyy Pop rabbit hole. And what happened is, according to Nickyy Pop, and I don't even know how true, again, all of this stuff is alleged because everything about this case is getting stranger and stranger and stranger by the moment. So what's being alleged is, so Nickyy Pop, apparently in 2015, I did see a video. Her sister, now this is a transgender person, okay? So her sister was unalived, all right? So there's literally footage from our Detroit news from her sister being unalived, I think found in the house. During this time, while trying to find the sister and all this stuff that was happening because her sister was missing, this guy Lawrence ended up coming and they ended up being together. Like, he was there for her. So this is how this relationship started. So over 10 years, this is who she's saying she's in a relationship with. Over these 10 years, she talked about Lawrence wasn't necessarily the best person, sat around all day, didn't work, didn't say the nicest things about him, but nonetheless, they had an open relationship. So in this open relationship, apparently she ain't really cared as long as he came home. So he did whatever he did. Said it was an open relationship, but then referred to it on the video like he was cheating and she let him cheat. So however you want to phrase it. And apparently there was a hookup that went wrong. This guy, allegedly, according to her, came to the house. I don't know if she was a part of it, not a part of it. Came to the house and had poppers. And poppers, as many of you all were telling me in the chat when you looked it up, it's supposed to be some type of a drug that is inhaled and it loosens up certain parts. Okay. And you're not supposed to drink it. Y'all think you're supposed to sniff it. Well, allegedly he sniffed it. I mean, he drank it instead of sniffed it, and it was a negative reaction to it. Fell out and ended up dying. Nickyy Pop was upset because apparently this person left him there, according to her. Left him there to die. She comes home 2 hours later, find her man dead. This is what she's saying. Then on the video, there was conversation about how the police opened an investigation. They must have done the autopsy, did everything, and they ruled it an accidental death. So since that time, she's been having a hard time with her man being dead. And so when you look on her Facebook page, she talked about there was a post that she did in August, and it has, this is from her post, Nickyy Pop. The man that I've been sleeping next to for the last 10 years of my life left me yesterday. So this is August 17th. Lawrence Matthew. Everybody keep asking me, am I okay? I'm not okay. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be in this house. I don't trust myself. Been alone. My heart is gone. I've been through hell and back with this man for 10 years straight. Everybody been telling me for years to leave this man, but I stuck beside since we met in 2015. He loved me for who I was. Without this man, I have nothing. I can't eat. I can't sleep. I need professional help. This can't be life right now. How am I supposed to live without this man? I just want to burn this house down with me in it. This is my husband and will always be my husband. I don't care. I love you. I love you. I love you. Please don't ask me if I'm okay. I'm not. God took the only man that ever loved me away, and I just want to know why. Why God want to hurt me so bad. So this is the picture that she has. So this is from the actual Facebook page. So according to some other individuals, they allege she did go to a psychiatric hospital. So some people must have said that she needed some type of help. So she did go to a psychiatric hospital and somebody signed her out. So that's alleged. That's just what people have been saying. Because, the next question is, if she's crying out for help, why y'all ain't get her some help? So there's that. So that is the backstory that we didn't really know about until now when we were watching the video. So since that time, there have been other people that posted. So allegedly, this is supposed to be the person who was unalived by Nickyy Pop. This is supposed to be him. His name is Makari Finley. And one of the family members said, imagine scrolling past the Nickyy Pop situation, paying it no mind as if it was another crazy story on Facebook. Then it goes viral. So you go down the rabbit hole just to find a picture in the comments of your little brother covered in blood, stabbed to death, killed by some crazy mentally ill looking MFer. Then for the internet to claim false allegations and paint a crazy story. He was no drug dealer. He was a certified, well-accomplished private chef, I think because it says chief, that travel all over the world serving professional people from the NFL and NBA. I'm going to miss the F out of you, little brother. And I actually know a few people who know him, and they did say he was quiet. He was a nice guy. And yeah, so this is supposed to be the person who was on the video. Now, of course, you get people all in the comments, that don't look like him. He ain't had no hair. He looked like this. He looked like that. But this is the family that is alleging that it was their loved one that was killed by her. So they've been going out here on social media saying it's a lot of false narratives. Again, we probably won't know all the information until she has her probable cause hearing. her preliminary examination, which will probably be streamed because some people are interested in this case. So there's that. Then remember, Nickyy Pop, when she was on there, started talking about her man, and he was a drunk, he was this, he was that, said he was at home all day, and everybody was like, why are you going through all of this over somebody that sound like they wasn't all that great? So then you had the baby mama for Lawrence. Now that's supposed to be Nickyy Pop's man, the one that was ended up dying, who came and allegedly wanted to defend her baby daddy. All right. So you got this person who says, I'm speaking to those who need to hear this. Lawrence was an exceptional father, and his love for our children was boundless. Watching that disturbing video this morning has left me feeling unsettled. It's imperative that we respect the truth. I I had 4 children with Lawrence, and despite his struggles, he was a devoted father. As time passed and we moved forward, his personal life became his own. I kindly request that we allow Lawrence to rest in peace, despite the hurtful words spoken about him on social media. The pain of seeing our children hurt by cruel lies on Facebook is something I wish not on anyone. The constant phone calls about malicious posts are overwhelming. As a mother, it's heartbreaking to see my children's feelings hurt. I'm begging everyone to let our children's father rest in peace. Nobody should make them feel ashamed of their parents. Long live Lawrence. Rest up, Lawrence. So that is supposed to be Nickyy Pop's man that she is talking about. Is a good daddy. All right. You know what, AK 126, I'm not doing this with y'all. Said I would let nobody know my baby daddy's. You know what? She said in there that his personal life was his own. I think that's why she put that in there. But he was a good father. And I assume part of that were why she felt the need to say something is because Nickyy Pop didn't say like, oh, he was there for. I mean, apparently he was there for her. I guess when the sister passed away 10 years ago, that's how they met. But other than that, really wasn't too many nice things that were said. There was nothing about support past that time. I had to dig up to find out what the support was in 2015 because she didn't even say anything when she was describing what was going on. She didn't even say anything when she was talking to police about her relationship. Like she didn't say anything that was very positive. So people probably were like, why would you do all this for a dude that was like that? He don't seem like he wasn't that great anyway. Why would you do something? So that's probably the conversation. So the baby mom was like, maybe I should come on here and clear that. All right. All right. So on yesterday, Nickyy Pop was officially charged, and the real name is Dominick Marvin Eugene Robinson. So I thought the name, so when I was looking at some of the pictures on the Instagram, I thought there was a name change because there was a piece of paper, albeit it wasn't signed, it was just an application. And I think she tried to infer that there was a name change, I guess maybe to change the pronouns to make whatever the name is to be a female name. But looking at this, it don't look like a name change. Looking at the actual docket for this person. So on yesterday in the 37th District Court in Warren, there was count 1, homicide, murder in the first degree, premeditated. Okay. Cash bond amount, $2 million is what the bond is. All right. Hey, Lisa, good to see you. Now let's pull up this arraignment here. So there was a let's see. I know. I put the pictures of what Nickyy Pop was looking like in the membership, and everybody was like, "What?" I don't know what I was expecting, but I wasn't expecting that. Yes, this is who it is right here. Let's go. Hold on.
Sure. Sean Hageveld agreeing on behalf of the people.
Okay. And as for the defense that you've already put your name on the record, I'm not sure if the prosecutors heard that, so if you could just do that again.
Yes, Your Honor. Sonia Hrishko, MIDC arraignment attorney.
And Ms. Robinson, if you could just state your name again for the record.
Dominick Robinson.
All right, thank you. Okay. Counsel, how do you want to proceed?
Your Honor, I spoke with Dominick Robinson. I reviewed the charge with my client. We waived the formal reading, asked the court to enter a not guilty plea on my client's behalf, and my client is requesting court-appointed counsel.
Have court-appointed counsel authorized to represent the defendant going forward when they enter a not guilty plea on their behalf, as well as a noting that he's waived the reading. I'm going to set this for a PCC on December 23rd, 2025. That'll be in front of Judge Chupa. That'll be in the following week on December 30th, 2025. Also at 8:45 a.m. in front of the same judge for the preliminary exam. For the people, I'd like to state anything.
Yes, just briefly, I appreciate the opportunity to do so. Your Honor, involved in this case was extensive planning, at least to one additional person, what the intention was to kill the now deceased. There was also a Facebook Live confession that identified and showed the deceased lying on the floor. There was a 5-hour standoff with police while they continued to live stream. There were statements that were made by the defendant that he had killed this individual. It should be noted, Your Honor, that there is a high risk of harm to himself or to others. There were several posts on social media leading up to the homicide indicating this. And so because of that, we are requesting a very high bond, no less than $1 million cash only, no 10%. We do believe that there is a high likelihood of conviction in this case.
As to bond.
Your Honor, my client is 30 years old and resides in Warren. My client does have family in the area. We are requesting a 10% bond.
That's all you got.
I'm looking at the whole totality of the circumstances with this case. I'm going to set this as a $2 million cash bond. I do think there's a high risk of harm to the defendant himself as to others. I'm also going to, if in the case it makes bond of the steel cuff tether, I also want a mental health evaluation while this is pending. That's to the best interest of everybody in this case. With that being said, counsel, either one of you have anything further to say?
Nothing for the people, Your Honor. Thank you.
Nothing from me, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. We're all concluded with that. That being said, giving you the dates, the 23rd and the 30th of December, both at 8:45, and again, both in front of Judge Michael Chupa. With that being said, we'll conclude this matter for today.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
And so after the standoff, this is what it ended up coming to. So we're going to watch it again. Again, this is the first appearance. Looks like there were no legal name changes as what it appeared that she said on her Facebook, on the Facebook page. And the name is Dominick Robinson. And the prosecutor is saying he. So I'm assuming probably that's where it's going to go from the jail standpoint or what's going on. Now, I don't know. Somebody was asking me, is there specific areas? I know that from the jail perspective, sometimes they will ask what your gender is or what you identify as, rather, and they may put you in protective areas, but I'm not sure how this goes, because I thought there was actually some name change and all of that, but it's not in this case. So we're gonna watch this one more again, and then we're gonna jump up off of here. But this is, I told you all, I promised I would follow this and see what happens. And this is the conclusion of the standoff. Well, this is just the beginning, honestly, because this is the first appearance, but this is where she ended up.
Right, so, if you could just
Thank you for your patience.
You're welcome. Could you state your name for the record again?
Sure. Sean Hangeveld appearing on behalf of the people.
Okay. And as for the defense that you've already put your name on the record, I'm not sure if the prosecutors heard that, so if you could just do that again.
Yes, Your Honor. Sonia Hrishko, MIDC arraignment attorney.
And Ms. Robinson, if you could just state your name again for the record.
Dominick Robinson.
All right, thank you. Okay, counsel, how do you want to proceed?
Didn't the judge say, let me see, hold on.
Your Honor,
How did the judge identify? Let's see.
Counsel, how do you want to proceed? All right, thank you. Okay,
MIDC arraignment attorney.
and Ms. Robinson, if you could just state.
They
your
said
name.
Miss Robinson.
Dominick Robinson.
All right, thank you. Okay, counsel, how do you want to proceed?
Your Honor, I spoke with Dominick Robinson. I reviewed the charge with my client. We waived the formal reading, asked the court to enter a not guilty plea on my client's behalf, and my client is requesting court-appointed counsel.
Have court-appointed counsel authorized to represent their defendant going forward, would enter a not guilty plea on their behalf, as well as a noting that he's waived the reading. I'm going to set this for a PCC on December 23rd, 2025. That'll be in front of Judge Chupa. That'll be in the following week on December 30th, 2025, also at 8:45 a.m. in front of the same judge.
Yeah, I heard both too. So I guess they said, listen, we don't know. I guess
For example, for the people, like to state anything.
I think the hand situation, because it does, I know you guys are like, why is Nickyy looking like that? Remember, there was a big gash. Apparently, I'm assuming that this incident involved a weapon of choice of a knife, and there was a big cut. Remember, it was like, I got meat hanging out of my hand. So there was a big cut that occurred. So I'm thinking maybe some of this might be the hand, but I know it looks real awkward because you got the sucking on the hands and then you got the hand like this, and people are like, yeah, well, I don't think it's a question of mental health, because apparently there was a psychiatric visit at some point and someone allegedly decided it was a good idea to help get him out of there. So it's like to sign her out. So I don't know. But yeah, they're going to do a mental health evaluation to see what's going on. It may be guilty but mentally ill. Guilty but mentally ill is you did it, but you about to still go to prison and do the time. If it's insanity, that means you were totally out your mind and didn't know what was going on. But of course, they already said premeditated because it was planned. Like, you're looking on Facebook to say, I've been thinking about this for 4 months. How is that a one-time insanity type issue that occurred when you're saying all through Facebook, this is what I want to do? Or the person who called the police on her, I forgot to mention that person apparently, she kept saying that I'm gonna kill the person who killed him, like kept saying that or something. and then pan the body on FaceTime and show, and that was the person who called the police. It was her friend that called. So yeah, allegedly.
Yes, just briefly, I appreciate the opportunity to do so. Your Honor, involved in this case was extensive planning, at least to one additional person, what the intention was to kill the now deceased. There was also a Facebook Live confession that identified and showed the deceased lying on the floor. There was a 5-hour standoff with police while they continued to live stream. There were statements that
The court goes by legal names. I think is the obvious that they go by legal names. That's why it's on the pleading. However, how they identify you has evolved over time. Like if you get emails, they will say he, she, they, them, hey, he, her. Like they do try to respect how you try to how you identify yourself. So some courts have done that.
were made by the defendant that he had killed this individual. It should be noted, Your Honor, that there is a high risk of harm to himself or to others. There were several posts on social media leading up to the homicide indicating this. And so because of that, we are requesting a very high bond, no less than $1 million cash only, no 10%. We do believe that there is a high likelihood of conviction in this case.
Your Honor, my client is 30 years old and resides in Warren. My client does have family in the area. We are requesting a 10% bond.
Yes.
Looking at the whole totality.
Yes, for those that came in. So again, I did a little snippet on a short, but we were actually discussing Brian McKnight's case with his ex-wife, and then this video came up. I was watching it before I went live. And so because of that, I was like, hey, let's watch it together. Because I kind of knew what it was about, but not really. So we explored it together. But then when it was over, we all wanted to know what happened. We knew she ended up arrested, and we knew that portion of it, but that was it. So I said I would try to get more information so we could have more context. The first thing, I think people identify who the body was, and that's what I read earlier, where it was the family. One person from the family was like, that's how they found out, was on the internet, and they've been really trying to make sure people knew who their loved one was, and feels like has made statements almost alleging like this story isn't even real. I'll say to that we don't, he could be a chef, he could be everything you say he is, but you don't really know what type of involvement or who he chooses to be involved with. So I didn't understand that type of windmilling. But the whole drug dealer thing, I don't think that it was necessarily that it was an allegation that he was a drug dealer per se. I did see that, like people that wrote it, but I think from what Nickyy was saying, came with the poppers, which is something that is used often for those type of activities. And so they were trying to clarify, oh, he's not a drug dealer, he's actually a professional, a prominent professional. So it's been a lot of people showing support all over the internet for him, how nice this guy was, and he was so quiet and he was so sweet and all of that. But I don't see where that supports whether this is true or not. Again, this is going to be something we find out when they do their investigation, and some of the information will probably be at a probable cause at their hearing, at the preliminary examination. We'll probably get some information related to who the person was and what the story, what evidence she has that it was him or whatnot. But I think the family is alluding that they don't believe that the story that's being told is the truth.
Of the circumstances with this case, I'm going to set this as a $2 million cash bond. I do think there's a high risk of harm to the defendant himself as to others. I'm also going to, if in the case it makes bond, and we still cuff tether, Also want a mental health evaluation while this is pending. I think that's to the best interest of everybody in this case. With that being said, counsel, either one of you have anything further to say?
Nothing for the people, Your Honor. Thank you.
Nothing from me, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. We're all concluded with that. That being said, I've given you the dates, the 23rd and the 30th of December, both at 8:45, and again, both in front of Judge Michael Chupa. With that being said, we'll conclude this matter for today.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
And there we have it, folks. So there's that. That was the bond that was set yesterday for $2 million. If you just came in and have no clue what I'm talking about, I did a rundown in the beginning. And so you all can pull the bar back so you guys can know what happened. So that is our update. Told you all I was going to update you all. I think that's the only, let me see if there's any more. I did the baby mama, what Nickyy had to say. Yeah, that was it. Any questions? I'm about to get off of here. Miss Lisa said, may they both rest in peace. Yeah, hit the replay. So no, I don't know what the hookups are. I don't know. All we know is Nickyy said the sound like Lawrence was out here is what was being said. That he cheated, he had different people, so and apparently brought him to the house. So to say he's sitting on the couch and all he an alcoholic and all he do is drink and all of that, it's like he do a little bit more than that because he allegedly was having people come over there. So allegedly, and this was a whole different house too. So what we want to find out, what I'm curious to know, is how Nickyy was able to get the guy to come to the house. So this was a whole different house. So the house that the Nickyy and Lawrence lived in was still in Warren, but it was around the corner. This was a new house that Nickyy moved in after the death, and so had only been there for a couple of months, to the point where Nickyy said, I don't even know the neighbors. So how this guy got lured or came to the house is going to be a very interesting story to figure out how, like, what would be your purpose of coming over there? So if the family is saying that the car was out there and that was his car, then what else would he be over there for? Just saying. So yeah. You said they knew each other. Let's talk about Nickyy P. Oh, they knew each other. Okay. May, June, July say, I don't know if Nickyy is the reliable narrator. That's what people are saying. But we're going to see. We're going to see what it is. And yeah, basically say I killed somebody. That was said on that video. Yeah, she said she only did it for 3 months. Just say you can't be so trusting to be going to folks' houses. Apparently they knew each other, so I don't know. That's what somebody said. Allegedly, Nickyy lured him for. Oh, okay. That's what I'm saying. That sounds like it could happen. But if they knew each other, I guess he wouldn't have to. So we'll see. We'll stay tuned. We'll see how this pans out. Again, this is just the Nickyy Pop update. Dominick, Nickyy Pop Robinson, has officially been charged with murder, first degree premeditated, has a probable, let me see, when is this hearing? A probable conference hearing is, probable cause conference, I said hearing. Probable cause conference is set for December 23rd, so next week. And the week after that will probably be the preliminary examination, unless they waive the 14 days for the preliminary examination. So that's that. you all, I'm going to get back here. You guys see I changed locations. I am in Florida. So I'm going to try to enjoy Florida. If something else happens, I will definitely be back to inform you all. If you are new to the story and you want to see the video that we had before, again, it's in the Brian McKnight video, the last one I did with Brian and Julie McKnight. And if you go over there, make sure you hit that like button. But there was actual video. Also, her video is still on Facebook. So if you go to Nickyy Pop, you probably could watch the video yourself to see what video we're talking about. But yeah, it's a very wild story. We said we were going to make sure that we followed it. Tracy said, with multiple big court stories coming out of Michigan, Pam, what case are you most interested in? Do you think you will move a case to the other channel? Again, you guys know I kind of stay away from some of these cases because I practice in Michigan. And sometimes even if people will call me for consults, that's still attorney-client. So I don't talk about the cases or try not to talk about cases that I'm on or potentially on or somebody called. So that's why I just stay away from Michigan, because I don't want it to be like, oh, dang, I talked about that. I can't even take the case. But I think the Jarvis Butts is very, very interesting to me. I haven't really covered it. It's a lot. I was aware, I kind of knew from other people telling me that it was going to be potentially more charges and more charges. So even when they talked about Naziah, who they still have not found the body, when they started talking about Naziah, I knew it was probably going to be more people. So that's a case that's going to be like the case that never ends, kind of like what happened with Ernest Williams, where we started with one case, then it turned into 2, then it turned into 5, then it turned into an indictment with multiple charges, then it turned into 2 indictments, then it turned into 3. That's kind of how that case is gonna go. So I may loosely touch that because I don't know if I have time to just totally be covering it, but I think that one probably is the most interesting one that I've been watching. That people have been covering on TikTok and on YouTube. David Taylor. So yesterday, David Taylor was in court for a motion for reconsideration, and I missed it because I had to get to Florida. But let me see. I'm gonna look that up right now since you mentioned it, because I didn't even look up to see what happened yesterday. Somebody gave me some information on something that went down with Brandon, but I don't know. I couldn't find whether that was true or not. But let me look this up. Well, David E. Taylor is interesting, but it's just there's some interesting people over there. Let's see. Oh, it was 2 updates I know on Megan Thee Stallion v. Milagro case. So yesterday you had one of the attorneys, I mean, that ain't really no big update, but one of Milagro's attorneys, it was a female, one of the females, she withdrew. She said she was out of New York, and I guess Jeremy is still going to be on it because it sounds like this case is not ending no time soon. I told you last week there was a new filing of another attorney for Meg Thee Stallion, which leads me to believe there's going to be some appellate work or some type of post-conviction work post-verdict work. And then the same thing with, remember, Tory Lanez and his attorney, Crystal Morgan, got sanctioned for the deposition that happened. And so now Crystal Morgan is appealing her sanction. So that's another thing that's happening in that case. I have to post those documents in the membership because I meant to do it last night and forgot. Let's see. Let's go see what's up with David E. Taylor. Let's see. Bench order rendered at a hearing held on December 15 before District They did a motion to seal portions of the transcript from the motion, and the court denied it. So they was trying to keep that under wraps. So David E. Taylor tried to get part of the transcripts. Damn. Todd Perkins just came in, entered appearance for David Taylor. Now that was a shocker. I ain't seen it. Whoa. Let me see. Oh, the motion was taken under advisement. Yeah, so that means Todd Perkins came yesterday. Wow. Anyway, Todd Perkins is an attorney here who is pretty known. I went to school with his brother, Sean Perkins. Sean Perkins is the judge you guys saw that went viral. He's been viral a couple of times. Sean Perkins is the one who just recently, there was a video where the police officer didn't have pants on. And he was like, "Officer, do you not have pants on, officer?" That's a judge at our 36th district court. But yeah. Wow, that's interesting. Yeah, he does. Todd is a good attorney. Queen Shadina said, "Pam, if you're near Tampa, Red and Meth are going to show at the Hard Rock Casino on Thursday." Okay, thank you. Yeah, that's his brother. Sean is on the bench. The one that had the viral video, I actually went to school with him. That's why I went against in trial skills. So every time I see him, I'm like, "Remember when I beat you in trial skills?" But yeah, he's on the 36th district bench. And then his brother is Todd Perkins, and he has a pretty decent firm, size firm in Detroit. He actually ran for mayor. He didn't prevail. We have Mary Sheffield, but yeah, he ran for mayor this past. That's interesting. Wow. All right, but yeah, they took it under advisement yesterday, so I don't see anything else that has happened on the docket. What is this notice? It was supposed to be some information on Nicole Brandon, who's that lady? Michelle Brandon. But I wasn't able to verify it, so I'm not even gonna say what that is. But anyway, y'all, that's it. That's all I got. You said, where was his pants? They weren't on. He did a Zoom. We do most of our stuff on Zoom hearings. And so apparently he decided he was just going to put his police uniform on, his shirt on, and his badge, and didn't put pants on. But when he did his Zoom, it was full body. So you actually saw the bottom part that he didn't have pants on. And he was like trying to hurry up and move it, but it was too late. So the judge was like, "Officer, are you wearing pants?" Yeah. All right, y'all. You guys have a good day. I've been trying to get off here. You know how we do. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I'll talk to y'all later.